إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله ثم أما بعد عن زيد بن أرقم رضي الله عنه قال كنا نتكلم في عهد نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم كنا نتكلم مع بعض في عهد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان أحدنا يكلم صاحبه في حاجته حتى نزل قوله تعالى حافظوا على الصلوات والصلاة الوسطى وقوموا لله قانتين. And this hadith refers to the most important act or ibadah that we do, which is Salah. And we know we don't talk in the Salah. Zayd ibn Arqam radiallahu anhu said that we used to talk in the Salah for the needs of one another. Like for instance, if someone says Salamu alaikum, you say wa alaikum salam. If someone asks you for a need or something like you need to talk, you can talk. It's not like we sit and talk while we pray. Until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, maintain the salah, especially the middle salah, which is salat al-asr. وَقُومُوا لِلَّهِ قَانِتِينَ. القنوت له معاني كثيرة. السكون، الخشوع، عدم الحركة، العبادة وما شابه ذلك. القنوت قوموا لله قانتين, stand لله سبحانه وتعالى in qunut, meaning stand with humility, humbleness, attentiveness, dua, worship. All of those are meaning for qunut. قال فنهينا عن الكلام. الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم أمرنا بالسكون ونهينا أو أمرنا بالسكون ونهينا عن الكلام. Then we are commanded to be quiet and attentive, and we can talk. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud رضي الله عنه قال كنا نسلم على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو في الصلاة وكان يرد علينا السلام حتى إذا رجعنا من الحبشة سلمنا عليه فلم يرد علينا ثم قال إن في الصلاة لشغلا. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu said, we used to pass by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam praying and we say Assalamu alaikum, he tells us Wa alaikum assalam, until when we came from Habasha, Abyssinia, and came to Medina. He said, we say Assalamu alaikum to the Prophet and he did not answer us. And then after he finished the Salah, he said, Inna fi salati la shughula. Indeed, there's a lot of work in the Salah. And this is my point here, is I want to reflect on the meaning of shughul. Inna fi salati la shughula. What is the work? Of course, we know that attentiveness and humbleness. Now, when you say there is work in the Salah, that means focus. You cannot be standing in the prayer and your mind somewhere else. You cannot be standing in the prayer and talking with other people and returning answer. That means you're there. Have you ever been in a situation where you're so concentrating and focused that a person will talk to you and you would not hear him? Or something would happen, you don't know what happened because you were so deeply focused on that? Actually, I tried that one time with a lighter. And I put my finger like this, I don't know where I read it or somebody told me, I just wanted to see how when the person is focused. Put my finger like that and I said, I want you to look at my finger and focus. Put your hand here, the other hand like this, at the edge of the table, and the other one here, the other one, my hand is, or my finger is here, and he's looking like this. And you give him time till he forgets about this hand. and I have the lighter, I stricken the lighter, and the flame, I get it closer and closer to his hand, where the flame is really touching his hand, and it took a while before he jumps and felt the heat, even though if he's awake, when you get so just a little close to it, it was because he's so focused. What does that tell us? If you are really focused in the salah, you cannot be complaining about your children playing or someone doing something while you're praying. I cannot pray. Quiet. What are you doing? We are in the prayer. If you're really in a prayer, nothing affects you. If you're really focused and in khushu and humbleness, and there, Abdullah ibn Zubayr, everyone knows the story. They cut his leg without anesthesia, without painkiller, without anything. They were going to give him some alcohol, and he refused. He said, then I won't remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because you lose your praying. And they said, you must have it. How can we do it? And he said, when I enter the salah, give me some time to enter the salah. Not just as soon as he says Allahu Akbar, let him get into it. And he said, do whatever you want to do. And it was a report that one person was praying and a hive of wasps, or what's it should be دبور شو اسمه yellow jacket I guess attacked his foot or fell on his foot or something in the salah, and he would not break the salah. And after he finished, his foot was swelling and in pain. So when you're in the salah, if you our problem is we never really got into the shughul, the work in the salah, to the point we feel like we are praying. So anything around us distracts us. Little voice distracts us, a little child, anything, a phone ring, someone talking, whatever, it takes us away from the salah because you're not really deeply focused in the salah. Another benefit I want to pass to you is inna fi salati la shughla, meaning when you say Allahu Akbar, there is work. Is there a time where you can do nothing in the salah? No. But many of us do nothing in the salah. Who can give me an example? Huh?
When the Imam is reading and
Yeah, well, you're doing here. Attentiveness is shul, brother. If the Imam is reading and you're listening, this is shul, because you're listening. Yalla ya shabab.
Can you repeat it again? Repeat the question again, please.
Is there a time in the salah that you are not doing anything? Like praying behind the Imam, for instance. Yes, there are plenty of times.
After you finish the shahud.
You finish the shahud, what else you do? You go like this, and you start waiting for him for Assalamu alaikum. If you read, if you in silent prayer, you read the Fatiha and you read another surah, let's say you read another surah, you finished it, what do you do again? You go into another surah or you start waiting? There's so many places we wait for the Imam to finish or to go to the next move in the salah. You should not wait a second without doing something. If there is a place for reading Quran, then you continue on reading Quran until the Imam says Allahu Akbar. If you are finishing tashahhud, start making dua, because that's a wonderful place for dua. Same thing with sujood. Okay, how many times you do sujood, brother? 3? 2 times, okay. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Okay, how about after you do 10 and the Imam's still there, what do? You start thinking about what is he doing?
Yes.
Why don't he say Allahu Akbar?
Yeah.
How many times do we have to say? The sunnah is 3. And you will be complaining while you're in sujood. And you're supposed to be what? Working. You're on payroll.
Yeah.
The hasanat. So, inna fi salati la shughla. If we understand this hadith, that there's a lot of work in the salah, the best 2 understanding is you should never be silent or still not doing anything in the salah when you pray behind the imam. And at the same time, focus in your salah. Learn how to have the khushu by being there on time, by praying the sunnah before you start, by understanding what you're reading, by reciting properly, by knowing how to make dua and how to connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Reflect on what you are reading and do it smoothly and slowly. Pray like this is your last prayer. You might die after that. So all of that would help you to focus in the salah, and then it will take all the distraction, the outside distraction, that doesn't bother you too much. Honestly, this is a benefit for me before I pass it to you, because really, subhanAllah, we cannot pray when there is anything around us. We cannot focus. If a child cries, we're all finished. In fact, some of us would say, you ruined my salah. It's not going to be accepted. As if it was going to be accepted before. We don't know. Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala merciful. Actually, this is the best thing in the salah, is to pray behind the imam. That's one of the advantages. All the shortcomings that you have in the salah is forgiven because you are behind an imam. You heard that? All the shortcomings that you don't do properly in the salah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives you because you're praying behind the imam. And that's the meaning of, one of the meaning of the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, al-imam damin, the imam guarantees. One of the meaning guarantees the ajr for you because you are praying behind the imam. This is one of the things that encourages you to come to the masjid and to pray in jama'ah. How many of us would guarantee that their salah is accepted at home? With the imam, with all this focus and time, and you are controlled, and barely the salah is accepted. But because of the imam, alhamdulillah. We know before one of the companions sneezed in the salah before also, and he said, alhamdulillah. No, he said one sneezed and somebody said, yarhamukallah. And the Prophet ﷺ told him at the end that this salah is dhikr and tasbih and tahmeed, and none of the regular talk fits saying it in the salah. So when you sneeze in the salah, you say alhamdulillah to yourself without loud, but you don't say yarhamukallah for the other person, because talking in the salah is prohibited. So remember this. And remember that you come and pray behind the imam, and remember how to focus in your salah, and remember that if you hear some outside things bothering you, it's a sign you're not really focused in the salah. One thing left, the Prophet ﷺ did not answer wa alaykum as-salam, but he did answer it in a different way, which is a sunnah that you can adopt. You do like this. If you're praying and someone says assalamu alaikum, you go like this. This is wa alaikum assalam. Instead of saying wa alaikum assalam, you just do with your hand like that. If you're holding like this, you go like this. And inshallah you get the ajr. And you're not supposed to talk, but when someone comes and says assalamu alaikum, this is the best way to do it. It's also a sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to always make us keen on the salah and grant us khushu, accept our salah, focus on jama'ah, and inshallah 50 to 90% of your problems will be solved, inshallah. And know that salah is the most beloved thing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He told us, أحب الأعمال إلى الله فافترضه عليكم. The best of the acts is what He obligated upon you, and الصلاة في وقتها من أحب الأعمال إلى الله سبحانه وتعالى. To pray on time is most beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.